Hello, welcome to the Q. It is Operation 8th Air Force, and it is turn 4. Nope, turn 5. I just moved the marker, and I said 4 anyway. UK, France, let's look at their purchase. For 17, Britain is buying a Marine, fighter, and an infantry. For 7, Calcutta, they're going to finish the fort and upgrade a militia. And they have 7 as well for Anzac. They're going to save 4 by infantry. Let's roll some tech, construction, and submarine warfare. And they are both at 7. And they are both 10s. How nice. So we are, that's new. So no, not radar. Sub warfare. And what was the other one? Oh, construction, of course. Silly me. All right, so that is a good deal there. Seems like we're zoomed in an awful lot. Let's go down to combat. And we do have combat. Not necessarily against anybody, but so we've got a destroyer here in A-23, which will come over 1-2 into A-21 and go on escort duty. We have down here a destroyer in I-1, which will come over to A-54 and go on escort duty. And I think that's the extent of the British combat. Let me check my numbers right. I've got 3 French going there, 1 going there. I think we're good. All right. Let me do it again. 1, 2, 3 going north, and 1 going to the mid. All right, so we're good. Now we're on to non-combat movement. It might be considered combat if Italy would like to declare war. All these ships here in A-44, I won't list them off, but you can see it's a buttload. We'll back up into M2 at the very moment. This battleship and transport come out of port into M8. This light cruiser, heavy cruiser, light carrier come out of I-5. We're also going to take that destroyer out of port. This destroyer will stay in I-5. All right, so these 5 ships will join the rest of that stinking fleet here in M2. But wait, there's more. We're going to bring down a destroyer and a heavy cruiser from A-21. 1, 2, 3. Oh, nope, then that means they got to stay there. We're not staying, so these 2 fleets combine in M2 and safely pass back into A-44. So the battleship, that'll give us, let's see, 3 battleships, 4 destroyers, 2, whoops, we're making a mess here, 2 light cruisers, 1 more heavy cruiser. So that's 3 heavy cruisers. The transport, it did nothing, but it'll stay in the C zone. And then the light carrier comes here, and this light carrier moves up to A-35. So it went in there, 2, 3, into A-35. Now we'll bring down a destroyer from A-21, a heavy cruiser from A-21, and they'll be in A-35. I wonder if I got that zoomed in too far so you can't really see anything that I'm doing. All right, so that is the extent of the combat. Yeah, we got our escorts. That would be the only risk of anyone attacking. So let's move some other units. While we're up here, we're going to take this sub in A6 and come over to A4. That was the destroyer that went on escort duty. In A-23, we're just going to leave that guy out in the ocean. All right, so here we're going to leave these guys out in the ocean. And this transport here will come out of port, grab an AA gun and an infantry from southern England. 1, 2, 3, and it will go in port in Gibraltar after dropping off the infantry and AA gun. All right, 1 infantry will step over. The mountain will rail up to Scotland where he belongs. Let's see, we want to drop 2 infantry. Nah, we're good. Well, we're building a marine. Nah, we'll leave him. Forget it. All right, so this fighter here in southern England comes out 1, 2, 3, 4, and lands on this carrier that's empty in A44. The seaplane, do I want to bring that down or not? Nah, we're going to leave it here. So that's what we got there. That doesn't seem like very much in southern England. So let's leave that mountain. Let's not rail into Scotland where he belongs. We'll leave him there for now. All right, I think we're done. We're done. All right, let's move some transports. We got a transport here in I-12, which will come over 1, 2 and go in port into Aden. We have a transport here in I-7, 1, 2, 3, and go in port in South Africa. Last but not least, we have this port or transport in Malaya. He's going to strategic naval move. 1, grab the infantry in Hong Kong. 2, 3, 4, drop him off in Hong Kong and go in port. And finally, we've got 2 Anzac infantry and 2 British infantry that step into Calcutta. I'll ship those out later. I'm stacking them up so I can do a recap correctly. And then the Gurkha from Bengal will step in as well. All right. 100% done with the British and Commonwealth. Let's place their goods. And yeah, that's it. All right, so I'm going to grab the fort, the upgrade, the infantry, and this guy goes in South Cape Town. So the infantry goes placed in Cape Town. We're upgrading this militia here in Delhi to an infantry. Our fort goes down. It's completed in Calcutta. And last but not least is our infantry here in Sydney. All right, so I can get rid of that. All right, so the last placement of goods is a Marine and a fighter, and they will both go up here in London. And that should be it, right? I believe so. So let's look at our cash. Britain is at 16, so they get 16 for next turn. FEC is at 7, so they have 7. Anzac is at 5, so we'll take that off. We saved 4, we get 5, so they have 9 for next turn. So 9, 7, 16. I'll get rid of that because we finished the fort. All right, next is France. They have 11, 4 militia and an infantry. And tech will be, come on, let's have a clean sweep. Long range. Yes. All right. Let's move on to their movements. They have combat. We've got a medium bomber here in Ivory Coast. He'll come out on map into A51. All right, we've got a torpedo boat destroyer here in A44. He'll come over 1, 2 and go on escort duty in M4. 1 destroyer from A44 comes up 1, 2, 3 and goes in escort duty in A19. A27, there's a destroyer. We'll go on escort duty in A18. The battleship will come over from, oh, you know what? I can't use those ports. I thought he could move 3, but he can't. All right, so I'm going to make an adjustment on the British move then. So this battleship will just come down 1, 2 into A22. All right, so that means I need a British ship here in A20. So one of the destroyers, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that means we're taking a destroyer out of A21 that did not move, and it will go on escort in A20. This battleship here in A28 will come down 1 to A35, and then here from, oh, you know what? I can do that. Let's not perform that move. We got an extra destroyer here in A4. 1, 2, 3. He comes up 3 because he can move 3. He doesn't need the port. And then the light cruiser will go in here. All right, so that means we will take one of this FEC destroyer here. Oh no, I think that came from Africa. So let's see what it can do. It was his here. It comes out. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the FEC destroyer goes in there. All right. All right, so that's the adjustment then for the British. Since I failed to recognize I couldn't use that port for the French. They do have a strategic naval move. This transport in M1 will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in port in, I can't read it because it's buried, French Guiana. All right, so both transports are in port. Foreign Legion is secured, guarding them. All right, so in France proper, we do have some movement here. Let's see. Let's move the infantry out of Aquitaine into Paris, the motorized from Normandy down to Aquitaine. One more infantry out of southern France goes into Paris, and that's it. Let's place our goods. We've got 4 militia and an infantry. So the infantry has to go in Paris. It's the law. The 2 ships are also going in Paris for militia, 2 more militia. All right. I don't know what that stack is. I'll have to count that. All right, so that leaves 2 militia to place, 1 in Normandy and 1 in southern France. All right, so that, let me make sure, is how I want to go. All right, do I wish to do anything else? I do not. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to move 1 AA gun out of Paris into southern France. All right. That's what we got. So let's look at the French income. They are at 10. So obviously we must have saved one last turn. So they'll have 10 for next turn. Right? Yeah. All right. Let's do a recap. It's going to be a long one because a lot changed. So if you don't want to hang around, no biggie. In French Guiana, 2 transports, 1 Foreign Legion. Coming over here on map in A51 is a French medium bomber. On escort duty in A54 is a destroyer. Cape Town has an infantry anti-aircraft gun. In South Africa, port is a transport. I-5 is a destroyer. Transport in Aden in port. We still have our militia in Somaliland. Egypt is 2 infantry, fighter, anti-aircraft gun, militia in Egypt, or Western Egypt. Militia in Malta. Escort duty in M4 is a French torpedo boat destroyer. A44 is 3 destroyers, a battle cruiser, 3 battleships, 3 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, 1 torpedo boat destroyer, 1 light carrier, 1 fighter, and 1 transport. In Gibraltar is 3 infantry, 1 AA gun, 1 militia, 1 transport. A-35 is a light carrier with a tactical, heavy cruiser, 2 destroyers. French have a battleship and a light cruiser. A-28 is a sub. A-18, 19, and 20 are all French destroyers on escort duty. Escort duty in A-21 is a British destroyer. Also in that sea zone is a British destroyer, heavy cruiser, light cruiser, torpedo boat destroyer. A-22 is a French fighter and a battleship, French battleship. A-23 is a coastal defense ship. A-4 is a sub. England or London, there is 2 militia. Air transport, infantry, airborne, marine, fighter. Southern England is a medium bomber, seaplane, infantry, mountain infantry. Northern England is an infantry and a militia. Oh, French proper here. Normandy, infantry, militia. Aquitaine, 2 motorized and 1 militia. Southern France is a mountain infantry. No, a regular infantry, a militia, and an anti-aircraft gun. Alsace-Lorraine is 2 infantry, 2 militia. In Paris is 5 militia, 1 artillery, 1 anti-aircraft gun, 7 infantry. All right, to the other side of the world, Delhi has an infantry. Southern India, Ceylon, Sarawak all have militia. Malaya is a militia, British AA gun, Anzac infantry artillery. And finally, we got some move markers over here. These French subs we're going to move. 1 from P-42 and 3 from P-35, all into P-44. The British coastal sub is moving over 1 to P-34. All right, so hopefully you got all those. I don't need to go over those again. Last but not least here is in Calcutta, and that is 6 FEC infantry, 1 Gurkha, 3 militia, 1 transport in port, British AA gun, 3 British infantry, 2 Anzac infantry, and that is pretty much it. Sydney is now 2 infantry and a motorized. All right, next up is Italy, and war is approaching fast.